Welcome to the MFP Report for Wednesday, July the 5th, 2017 here on YouTube. Okay. Okay. Let me see what I want to start out with here. Thank you very Thank you very much. Let's see. Okay. CHRO. See what we got with the Houston Astros right now. Of what's going on there. With them. I know that they won last night and they won in a big way in terms of Atlanta Braves, which I'm very, very happy about. Let's see. They've gone 30 games above 500. Wow, that's pretty good. Correa may not be headed to the All-Star game. He's got a thumb injury. Let's see. They play Atlanta tonight again. Preview. Let's see what they say on the preview here. Let's see. Correa relief thumb injury. Spring Altuve. Who's the starting pitcher tonight? Let's see here. Spaniel. Schedule. Musgrove. Go back one. Musgrove back. Jamie Garcia returns home looking to shake off a string of 3 disappointing starts against the Astros on Wednesday. Trust Park. They faced Astros. Garcia gave up 4 runs in the last start against the Astros, but has struggled with and recently, especially with the location of his 2-seam fastball. Seemed too good for them tonight. And 272 against them at home and he hopes to turn it around against the Astros, who hold the American League's best record. Turns to the mound in his first start since promoted to AAA Fresno on June the 21st. He is 4-7 with a 6.01 ERA in 13 starts this season, but he wasn't sharp prior to his demotion, as he gave up 12 runs in a 3 2/3 innings against the Mariners. You know about this game. Astros have hit a double in a franchise record 41 consecutive games. Garcia has given up 6 home runs in the last 5 starts. In the amount he had given up over the first 2 months of the season. Gregerson, on the morning of the May 24th, with an atypical 6.50 ERA, blowing a save 2 nights before against the Tigers. He responded with a scoreless outing that eventually that evening, and has resurrected his status as one of the best baseball's most dominant relievers ever since. Over the last month and change, Gregerson has gotten back to what he does best, inducing chases out of the zone from 1% before May 27th to 40% since, and ground balls 14.3 degree average launch angle before 3.3 degree average angle, and has significantly reduced his StarCast rating. StarCast estimated batting average from 273 to 191, which is calculated based on strikeouts and rolling hit probabilities. That's some pretty good stats there for the Houston Astros. It really is. And they need Gregerson very, very, very much. Need him to be a pitcher that gets the outs that he needs to get. This is after July 4th. Let me check some other stuff here. Saints. Let's see. Dak Prescott accused of using machine to sign his autograph. Joe Horn may push commitment date back. Horn. Shh.
You know it's raining?
Yes.
Okay.
A really long road back. That's it. Nothing there. Nothing there. So okay. Nola. Let's see. Frank Jackson couldn't wait to put on a New Orleans Pelicans for the first time after getting taken in the second round of the 2017 draft. But it looks like he'll have to wait a few months before that can happen. Yes, a footster. Okay, obviously, I mean, we know how good the NFL teams are at doing their due diligence on players coming off it. I'm not talking about players that may have done drugs or gotten in trouble with the law or whatever. I'm talking strictly about that have sort of done their deal and gotten hurt and are coming off an injury on coming off an injury. And obviously the Pelicans feel like he's going to be a pretty decent player in terms of back from that injury. And after he comes back from that foot surgery, we'll have to see, because really I don't I don't pay attention to it. So in terms of that, and he's from like Duke or Florida State or North Carolina, whatever it is, and North Carolina, I think it's North Carolina State. I'm not sure. He's from one of those places, and so it's one of those things where wait and see in terms of how he comes back from this sort of injury. Okay, and that's that for that. Let's see here. What else? What else? What else? Let's see here. Bookmarks. Yeah. Conservative Daily. Let's see what we got on good old Conservative Daily. Conservative Daily. Manning perhaps impeachment. Okay. You know what? I'm beginning to believe Trump should be whatever he gets past. He should try, if this thing is true about these guys that are against Trump in terms of his thing. He can do something about Paul Ryan. He might not be able to do something about Mitch McConnell. He can't, not McConnell, but Ryan really hasn't done very much in terms of getting things passed, and I think it's almost to the point of where it's time to go. It really is. And it's time for maybe a Louis Gohmert or somebody like that to be put in as, let's say that Gohmert's going to be any better. But, I mean, the way Gohmert talks, at least amenable working with the president, actually getting things done, and actually kind of sort of stuff that will get things done. So and look, McConnell is, I don't get rid of McConnell as well if he can do it. if you can do it. McConnell, and the fact of the matter is, I'm not sure it would, but and there, I bring, I kind of suggest that they would maybe uh, think about Ted Cruz as the leader of the Senate. Yeah, and 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 President Trump have had their problems in the past, but I think is more, or Rand Paul would be more amenable to working with than it seems like the guy that is the swamps version of what a Republican should be in McConnell, amenable to working with Donald Trump. Matter is, I think he's too much establishment. He's been there too long, and he needs to go out and leave. And it's going to be hard to get those two guys out, especially uh, especially especially McConnell, because he's been there so long, entrenched in that, in terms of might or might not happen. Let's see. Bookmarks. Thank you very much. Conservative abyss. See what we got here now. Okay. America's forgotten ally, Morocco helping win Van Hip. Okay, I'm going to take a look at this one first. Let's see. This is a relatively long story. The title of the story is America's Forgotten Ally, Morocco helping win war on terror. Van Hip. That had declared this as an independence. British rule that year before was struggling to survive. There was one nation, however, that stood by America in its early days and was actually the first country in the world to recognize a sovereign nation. You might guess no. It helped militarily during the American Revolutionary War. The first nation that actually recognized our sovereignty, Morocco. The 1777 Moroccan Sultan Mohammed III became the first head of state to recognize the United States and added America to the nations. Morocco's ports were open to. Later in 1786, the United States of America and Morocco signed the U.S.-Morocco Treaty Friendship, which to this day remains the longest-standing peace treaty in history. And in 1789, George Washington actually sent a copy of the U.S. Constitution to Morocco, who was direct descendant of the Prophet Muhammad, came from Alawite dynasty today, his descendant, Muhammad VI, sits on the throne as king of Morocco. Morocco is America's oldest ally, and over these past 240 years has remained one of America's best allies. Years they have been rock solid and steady in the support of the United States. With the United States has often been others, and because Morocco's don't always tout the long-standing relationship on the world stage, they truly are America's forgotten ally. Consider the following. Morocco has long sided with the United States during wartime throughout America's history. During the first Gulf War, Morocco sent the only Maghreb, Northwest Africa member of the U.S.-led military coalition. 3. Morocco has been a key ally in the United States war on terror, and according to Wall Street International earlier this year, Morocco intelligence has dismantled 40 terrorist cells and arrested people since 2015. 4. U.S. Africa Command and U.S. Special Forces Command have worked closely with Morocco and over the years, conducting various training exercises, including in Flintlock 2017. American troops have engaged in joint airborne training, and Morocco has a partnership with the Utah National Guard. Morocco has provided key counterterrorism to the U.S. and its allies on ISIS. According to the former U.S. ambassador to Morocco, Mark Ginsburg, Morocco was actually deployed with American terrorism special forces in Europe to uncover ISIS cells. Free trade agreement exists between the United States and Morocco Moroccans have actually bought more goods and services from the United States from them. Wow. King Abdullah II of Jordan has a solid and reliable leader in his King Mohammed VI, who has carried on the traditions of his late father, King Hassan II. Christians and Muslims and Jews coexist in peace. Fourth, to be clear, the American has other solid allies in the Muslim world, like King Abdullah of Jordan, who is also a descendant from and President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi of Egypt, who had the guts to stand up to the Muslim Brotherhood. The U.S. also has to deal with old allies, unreliable like Turkey last year. Autocratic ruler, whatever it is, Erdogan, power to the air base and temporarily prohibited all U.S. Air Force planes there from taking off and landing. The very NATO base where reports estimated P-61 nuclear bombs are housed in underground vaults. The U.S. is confronted with the most complex foreign policy situation in our nation's history. America's oldest ally, and yes, I forgot an ally, a bridge to both Africa, where radical Islam is on the rise, and to the Middle East, world, and Muslim world. Help fill the void. Being wow, this is an incredible deal here. Wow, wow. Go ahead. So, how about that from Morocco? Go ahead. In terms of them being a very important ally for the United States. Great. I love hearing that. Let's see. Bookmarks again. Conservative Tribune. Let's see. And this has been, you can find me at the Canaries Cry on Twitter. You can find me at the MFP Report on Facebook. You can find my blogs at number one at me.wordpress.com and at MPS Thoughts WordPress.com. And this has been the MFP Report for the 5th, 2017. Thanks for listening.